Limited. The best way to start your day. Taste and quality. Milling Limited. The best way to start your day. Taste and quality. Milling Limited. The best way to start your day. Taste and quality. Milling Limited. The best way to start your day. Taste and quality. Milling Limited. The best way to start your day. Taste and quality. Milling Limited. The best way to start your day. Taste and quality. Milling Limited. The best way to start your day. Taste and quality. The premiere episode of the Mwanza show is powered by Nkana Milling. The best way to start your day.
So what's showing?
The premiere episode of the Mwanza show is powered by Nkana Milling. The best way to start your day. The premiere episode of the Mwanza show is powered by Nkana Milling. The best way to start your day.
But we should be going.
The premiere episode of the Mwanza show is powered by Nkana Milling. The best way to start your day.
human being. It's fine. It's just like, let's just do it. Okay,
The premiere episode of the Mutale Mwanza show is powered by Nkana Milling, the best way to start your day.
Finally made it, finally here. It's a pity that I have to start, the premiere episode of the Mutale Mwanza show making an apology. Trust me, it was not part of the plan. It's not part of the script, but I have to say this. We had a few technical issues in the background, a few technical glitches, and we had to broadcast at 11:30. So sincere apologies. I know you were waiting at 11 a.m. at the top of the hour, but hey, the Mutale Mwanza show is finally on. So glad that you could join me on this premiere episode of the Mutale Mwanza show, which is sponsored by Nkana Milling. It's going to be an exciting episode, and guess what? 10 bags of Nkana Milling are up for grabs to 10 different people this morning. So it's really, really going to be exciting, and I cannot wait for you to win. I cannot wait for you to see what we have on the show today. So yeah, we can start with my outfit. My stylist thought it would really be a good idea for me to wear something shiny. Despite the fact that Lusaka City is a bit cold, I should really be wearing a trench coat, but who cares? We can do whatever we want on the show, right? And I know some of you are going to ask about my choice of sunnies. Yeah? I love sunglasses, and I wear sunglasses all the time, so that's something that you have to get used to. But coming down to the scope and the nitty-gritty of the Mutale Mwanza show itself, it's going to be a topical show. It's going to, cover different topics. We're going to discuss entertainment, we'll discuss politics, we are going to discuss business, and I'll make sure I give you a good show. So it's going to be all-encompassing, and you will definitely be entertained. I have been in the media industry since 2008, and by God's grace, I'm able to keep the lights on by doing what I love, which is radio, which is TV, which is voiceovers, which is being an entrepreneur, which is being a philanthropist, if you wish. So it's been quite a journey. It's been quite a journey. It's been quite tumultuous. And why do I say that? I say that because I started at Flavor FM in Kitwe in 2008, moved on to do other things in South Africa. In 2012, I worked for Good Morning Africa. I started my own show, which I produced, Underground Focus Productions. I produced and presented it. It was called Kumwesu. And then I moved back to Zambia in 2015 and joined Hot FM. I had a short stint, left Hot FM in 2016 and rejoined in 2017. Now, working for Hot FM obviously has been one of the best times for me in my radio career, and I'll tell you why. I was given an opportunity by the Chavulas to host one of the biggest breakfast shows in the country, the Red Hot Breakfast. I hosted it with Hope, I hosted it with Flavor, and with time, the Chavulas always being creative. At the time, Mr. Zach Chavula thought, a triple host breakfast show would be really dope, because my former boss, may he so rest in peace, and my former boss, Zach Chavula, as well as Mr. Oscar Chavula, were like, you know what, let's create something different. There's never been a breakfast show in the country that's been hosted by 3 people. And we were called, what were we called? The threesome. What was it? The threesome? What were we called? The threesome? No, the trio. Yes, the trio. Yeah, you see why you made great minds in the background. We were called the trio. That was Hope, Chishala, Flavor, and myself. With time, the show evolved, the show changed. We were then called the Awesome Foursome because an amazing young man was added to the team, Peter Zulu. We became the Awesome Foursome, and again, radio changed because there's no radio station that ever had triple host. There was no triple host breakfast show, not even a quadruple. Hot FM was the first. So Hot FM basically changed the game, and hosting the breakfast show was one of the biggest highlights of my radio career, because if I tell you the people that listen to the Red Hot Breakfast, your jaw will literally drop. Like, you're able to make change on that show. You're able to do a lot of things on the Red Hot Breakfast. And if you have your head on screwed properly, you can make a huge brand of yourself just by being on that show. I hosted the breakfast show, co-hosted, with the team up until a few months ago, in Feb, to be precise, the 24th of Feb 2021, when I got fired. So that's been my journey up until then. So after the break, I want to talk about the day I got fired. I want to share with you never before seen footage of the day I got fired. And I'm doing this because this is part of my journey. And being the premiere episode of the Mutale Mwanza show, I need you to understand who I am, where I've been, and where I am going. So we're going to take a quick break and we discuss the day I got fired, and I'll be joined by my first guest. Her name is Honey, because I drank 2 bottles of wine with her on that day. Yeah, the day I got fired. Stay tuned.
Taste and quality.
Doing good. Just
Kana Milling Limited. The best way to start your day.
Are we off?
Taste and quality. Kana Milling Limited. The best way to start your day. Taste and quality. Kana Milling Limited.
Welcome back to the Mutale Mwanza show. This is the premiere episode. In case you just joined us, please tell your friends to tell their friends that the Mutale Mwanza show is live streaming on Facebook. Now, I was talking about the day I got fired just before the break. And I got fired because of a post that I made, something that I regret to this day. And yeah, I guess we all make mistakes, and I apologize for it. But the consequences of my actions were the fact that I lost my job, and I was released off my duties in presenting the Red Hot Breakfast on Hot FM. Now, let me tell you, Honey, right, who joins us on the Mutale Mwanza, say,
Yay!
how are you, first of all?
I'm good. I'm excited. I'm excited for you, with you, about you.
By me!
And let it be known that I am the first guest to ever appear on the Mutale Mwanza show.
Yes!
Oh, good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, Honey was my boss. So Honey is the head of On Air. Obviously, she's going to be very modest about it, because she's going to be like, no, I couldn't possibly be your boss. Honey is the head of On Air at Hot FM, and she was my immediate supervisor when it comes to on-air duties.
Mm-hmm.
So, I just want to know, the day I got fired, where were you?
I was at home on my way here to Hot FM.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And how did you find out about it?
So it was an interesting day.
Was it?
Personally, my day started off very bland, boring, just another day, right?
Yeah.
So we have WhatsApp groups.
Yeah.
For every show every show that you hear in Hot FM has a group, all right? So that, you know, we can all be on the same page, instructions can be given, people can be tuned out. So I saw some activity. I mean, there's always activity in every group at any given time.
Yeah.
So sometimes I don't pay too much attention because I was on the road, I was getting here.
Yeah.
So I saw a question being asked, first a screenshot sent into our breakfast group by our boss, Mr. Oscar Chavula. And he was saying basically, what is this, right? So I read it, looked at the screenshot, and it was a post that you had made on Facebook, right? So I was trying to take it all in. And then comments, then I started seeing on WhatsApp, people posting the screenshot, discussing it. So I was still a bit lost until I got here. I went into the booth, and then I realized what was happening, you know? It was all happening so fast. And then I got a message from Mr. Chavula, because I'm the head of on-air department. I speak to him often, you know, about work, about our presenters and everything that's happening on air. So I asked him where he was. He said he was in the building, he was downstairs. So, and then while I was chatting with him, I started chatting with you.
Yes.
I tried to call you, I think the first time you didn't pick up. So I'm like, yo.
Yeah, because I was scared.
Yes. So then it's like I took too long to go downstairs to find Mr. Chavula. Then he came upstairs looking for me, right? So because I'm head of on air, I first wanted to also speak to you to find out what in the world was happening, right? And then he walked into the studio, into the booth, and was like, come out, right? So he was visibly pissed off, right? He was angry, he was irritated. And we had a brief conversation, him and I, and then I said, have you spoken to Mr. Chavula? And you literally said, no, I haven't. He's been calling me and I haven't answered because I'm scared, right? Rightly so.
Yes, I was.
Rightly so. If you know anything about Mr. Chavula, even the late Mr. Chavula, may so rest in peace, our bosses generally, they're very cool bosses, down to earth. We all get on as friends, but when you cross the line and get on their bad side, they can blow a fuse. Yeah.
But Oscar blows more fuses than Zach used to.
Yes, definitely.
Yes. Uncle Zach was calm,
But Zach was just like, you know, you could go to him even when you've messed up. But Mr. Oscar,
something. And that's why, because of the way he is and because I know him, that's why when he asked me about the post, that's why I was like, I'm like,
so he asked in the group, yes. He said, what is this?
Yes.
And you didn't even respond in the group.
Because I was scared. Because I know him. It's like, oh dear.
So anyway, spoke to Mr. Chavula, and he was basically like, you know, we cannot do this. We can't stand behind her with such a post, right? And so you and I were chatting back and forth. Then a letter was written, right? And that letter was shared with management here at Hot FM and shared with you. I'm not sure the sequence of it all. You can explain that, I'm sure. And then you and I were chatting in the background, and it seemed like instantly,
I know, right?
This letter went viral, okay? Viral on social media, Facebook. People are sending it, and now for those of us who work here, people asking us, is this true? What happened? Has she been fired? So please remember, I had a show to do that afternoon, right? So there was all this chaos going on.
How does that feel for you? I mean, having to deal with the fact that there's this whole social media frenzy about me being fired, and then you have to go on radio. How was that for you?
I mean, to some degree, we are built for this because it's entertainment, it's showbiz, so many things happen in this industry, and you just have to go with it.
Like a switch.
You've got a show to do, and as they say, the show must go on, right? But it was chaotic. I was in and out of the studio speaking to Mr. Chavula, but I was still on the drive time show with Fanatic. And I told you that I would come to you. I asked you where you were. You said you were at home. And you were your phone was blowing up. So I told you, let me just get through the show and I'll come to you.
Okay. Talking about getting through the show.
Yeah.
Obviously, you used to do drive time.
Yeah.
Which is between 15 and 18 hours. And 18 hours, Hot FM does broadcast the 18 hours news.
Yeah.
And Honey had to read the story in the news about, me being fired and how Hot FM had let me go.
Yeah.
And we were planning on meeting afterwards.
Yes.
Now, you get the news script and then what happened?
Okay, so because the show's so fast-paced, we do headlines every 30 minutes, and then 18 hours we have the evening bulletin, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes, because I'm the one on the show and I'm the one reading the news,
Yeah.
sometimes I don't have that much time to go through the entire bulletin, okay? It was one of those days, one of those shows.
Yeah.
18 hours, our news editor, Richard, walks in, hands me the bulletin, right? Bam, I'm going through it really quickly before we open the mic to go live. Part of the headline reads, Mutale Mwanza fired from Hot FM. So I look at the editor like, is this what we're doing? Wow. like,
Do I have to read this?
okay, a bit awkward for me. So I was your boss, but we are friends in real life, right?
Yeah.
So it was difficult, it was awkward, but the news is the news, right? And
Word
I'm
is
sitting
word.
in that seat as a newscaster and an employee myself of Hot FM, right? So even as I was reading, I think Fanatic was controlling on the other side,
Yeah.
and as I read the story, he's like, wait, what? Like, everyone I think was just shocked that we broadcast that in our news bulletin, all right? So fast forward, news is done, phones are blowing up. I make my way to your home. And yeah, I get to your home. You were visibly not yourself. You were sad. Can I speak on how you were?
Yeah, of course, why not?
Yeah, I mean, for anyone who has just lost a job, but also lost a job in such a public way, you know what I mean? Your eyes were puffy. I mean, you were going through it, right? So gave you a hug, and we just sat and spoke about it. But you actually didn't know, because you weren't listening to the radio, that it was in the news bulletin.
I had no clue. I mean, I was so busy crying.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I was just, yeah.
Yeah. So we're talking, you're crying, I'm telling you, you know what, it's okay. Maybe Mr. Chabula needs to just calm down. It's all just happened so fast. And we open a bottle of wine.
The first one.
The first one. And then we're just talking about the day. Then I told you, I said, so imagine when I had to read it in the news.
I was like,
And you're like, what?
it was in the news?
I was in the news, the Hot FM news. I'm like, yes. And I had to read the bulletin.
I was shocked. I
Yeah.
had no idea it was in the news.
Yeah.
I was like, why would Oscar do this to me? Why do I deserve it?
Yeah. I mean, I think that also really hit you hard, that it was in the news. And then your phone would not stop ringing. At some point, I just said, just put your phone on flight mode. Don't answer it. Don't look on social media. Don't.
Yeah.
The truth is that when you work with someone and when you are friends as well, I came to see you in two capacities, right? As your first supervisor, right? To be like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Right?
Because I remember Hani said to me,
Yeah.
why did you do that?
Yes.
Like, Mutale Mwanza, you effed us. Like, you literally said that to me. And I was like,
Yeah. So I came with also to console, but with tough love as well.
yeah.
But the honest truth is that I get the sense that people feel you are so hard-headed and like, well, I said what I said, who cares, let's move on, right? But you were really remorseful for that post. You did regret it. So when you go to someone with tough love, like I first also want to give her friend, so of course I'm going to hug her, we're going to drink the wine and, cry it out. But I also want to know her to know that really and truly this was not it.
Yeah.
But when I got there, I didn't even have to say it. You said it. You knew that you shouldn't have posted that, right? So it's like trying to scold a child for misbehaving, but they already know they've done wrong and they come to you and say, yo, I did this and I did this and I shouldn't have done it. So it's like, okay, so she gets it. She gets it. So now this has happened. So what do? We just console her, right? And that's what we did. We spoke about it. Your phone wouldn't stop ringing. I mean, your family were concerned about you, friends, media, colleagues, and we drank some more wine.
Yeah, we opened another bottle, and then and then this happened. So this is never ever before, never seen before. What's the correct English? Sorry.
Yeah, never seen before footage.
Never ever before seen before. Okay, flip the track to the else.
Yeah.
How we doing? Okay, cool. So this is footage that's never ever been seen before. Of me the day I got fired. I was having a bottle of wine. I was with honey, and yeah, at some point I just thought, okay, let's just go to Snapchat and try and be cute. So this is exactly how I looked on the day I got fired. So yeah, have a look.
I got fired today. Yeah. My boss fired me, and I've had, I think it's safe to say a bottle because it's like two, right? So you had one, I had one. A bottle of wine. I'm pathetic. But I'm also sorry.
See.
I mean, one of the most contentious parts of this is perhaps raising the minimum wage. It's
to the show, hashtag the MMS. If you want to talk about the show, please make sure you use the hashtag the MMS. It is the premiere episode, really exciting, and thank you so much for watching. Now, before the break, we were going through never seen before footage of the day I got fired, and I was chatting to Honey, who's my former boss and really good friend. We had lots of wine that day, and we drank quite a bit, and it was quite an emotional roller coaster. On the Mutale Mwanza set, I'm now joined by Flavor and Peasy, two constants in my life. Hi guys. Really? Are you really acting fresh with me because you're wearing a trench coat, Peasy?
What did you do?
What it does? I see you went to the barber shop. You look good.
As always.
Flavor, you look good.
Thanks.
Fresh all day.
No.
Yeah? So you guys go to the gym. Huh?
Really?
Why?
I'm going to talk about that today. Really?
Why?
I go to the gym for fitness.
For fitness?
Yeah.
Okay. Please, where do you go to the gym?
For fitness. And that's it.
Okay, it's an inside joke. I won't go into it. But Flavor and Peasy, join us on the Mutale Mwanza show right now because these are my friends, they're my colleagues, and we did the breakfast show for quite some time, up until the 24th of Feb, on the day I got fired. Now, to come 25th Feb, early morning, breakfast show, you guys had to do the show without me.
Yeah.
How did that go? How did that feel? I'll start with you, Flavor.
Firstly, the comments were that we will have to listen to the show tomorrow for us to confirm that she's got fired before we get to the show.
Okay.
But it was quite strange because obviously we got used to do the show, the three of us, and then all of a sudden there was Peasy and I on the show the next morning, and we did it for 2 weeks. You've got a different character, and there's something that you brought to the show, so that was kind of missing in the show. But we got on with it, and eventually we ended.
The show must go on.
Yeah.
Peasy, when did you first get the news when I got fired? I mean, apart from the breakfast. Who else? Who are the Mulomois?
Yeah.
How do they say it? Mulomois say?
Yeah.
The ones who are. Tell me, today I want to know who was busy texting you and putting out that page.
Funny enough, my battery died that day.
Oh, thank goodness.
So
Lucky you.
I was at the barber shop, and my barber starts telling me that you've been fired. So I'm laughing it off. I'm like, come on. The boss would make it public. He would leak it. Somebody else leaked it.
Yeah.
And he kept on telling me, it's confirmed, it's true, it's on my landry, it's on this page, it's on that page.
Yeah.
And he's showing me his phone, while my phone is charging. I'm like, my phone, I need to switch on my phone and just confirm this. And he keeps on asking me, is it true? Then I told him, go to the Hot FM page, just check if there's anything. At that time, there was nothing posted, it wasn't in the news.
Yeah.
So I sat there for about 45 minutes getting my haircut. After 45 minutes, switched on my phone, and then the phone call started. Opened my phone, I looked at the group, and I saw it there, bang, the letters in the group, and and everybody else who kept on asking, what's going on? And first instinct obviously was to call you, but obviously you're not in a state to speak.
Yeah, I should have just come home with some alcohol.
No, not really, because you and I spoke before that, remember? So
Actually,
Can
now
I
let me
rewind?
tell the story. Yes, let's go back to the day.
I was really watching.
Let's go back to the day because Flavor, Peasy, and I went to Run and Sable, right?
Yeah.
We went, and who else was?
difficult.
Difficulty,
Thomas.
Thomas. Yeah, we were together actually that day. We decided let's go for breakfast, let's go to Run and Sable and eat something. Yeah? Yeah, let's rewind.
So we went to Run and Sable after the show to have breakfast. Obviously, we met Thomas Ipalo downstairs, who's known as Difficult.
Yeah.
Says, guys, I want to have breakfast with you guys. Let's go have breakfast. Like, oh, cool, let's go have breakfast. Let's go to Run and Sable.
Yeah.
We go to Run and Sable. We have some awesome breakfast, share good stories.
Yeah.
And then the joke started.
Yeah. Just like a joke.
And then that joke started. Thomas just picked it up and said, hey guys, why don't we try and just, run for,
Public office.
Public office.
Yeah.
Don't you guys have such kind of plans or anything? We laughed it off, and said, okay, yeah. Then you and him, I remember that conversation, how he kept on throwing the joke, maybe you and I can do it. Maybe
Yeah.
you and I can do it.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe let's see how people are going to respond. And we totally laughed it up. I actually thought it was just going to be a joke.
Because it was a joke.
It was a joke. By the time we were leaving that breakfast table, we all agreed that this is just a joke. And it was just going to be one post and just something funny. And Thomas was going to do the same.
Yeah.
And
I put up a post to say, what if I stand as MP in Lusaka Central? So it was just supposed to end there.
Just
as a joke.
just there as a joke, it was supposed to end there.
Yeah.
So after that, we separated, went away. I went to the showgrounds. I remember I was buying some fertilizer with a friend of mine.
Yeah.
So as I was parking, put out my phone, then I saw your post.
The second one.
Yes. So after I read it, immediately I called you and I told you, bruh,
Yeah.
pull that down now. And I remember you were trying to laugh it off and telling me, no, it's cool, it's jokes, just the way we agreed. I'm going to, tell the people, apologize, and we're just joking. And I told you again, pull it down. That's gloves off. It won't be a good look because
Yeah.
I remember the past incidences that we've had. I know the bosses just kept it in and scored it. All of us. It doesn't matter who's gone, wayward in the team.
Yeah.
He'd sit us all down and counsel us and say, you're your brother's keeper, you're your sister's keeper. So, continue doing that even when you leave this office.
Yeah.
And that thing kept on ringing in my head. Oh my God, this, we're gonna get into trouble with this. We're gonna get into trouble with this. And trying to talk to you, and you said you handle it. So I was like, all right, cool. But I knew the fire was coming. I knew it was coming. And
Yeah,
after
Peasy
that,
usually knows when the fire is coming. So Peasy's like my voice of reason. Before I make a bad decision, I like to call Peasy sometimes just to hear what he's gonna say, just in case. Like, so like, what was that? The bio oil picture. I mean, that was an endorsement deal, obviously.
it was money.
Ka-ching ching, no regrets. I mean, life goes on. Victoria's Secret happens, things happen. But there was that shot, and you were like, this shot, this one. It's going to be what did you say, hurricane? A tsunami? It's going to be like a hurricane.
And after we had the conversation, I thought, okay, now she's going to drop that picture and whatnot. And then you open my social media, what do I see?
The hurricane!
The same photo.
But let's talk about the day you were fired.
Yeah.
It's the Mutale Mwanza show, so let's have a conversation.
Yeah.
Why did you do that?
I don't know.
Because it was a
I
joke
think-
and it went well, isn't it?
Yeah, to be
Then there
honest.
was
The first post got
the
good
second
traction,
one.
and
Yeah.
Why did you do that?
To be honest, it was just a bad decision, and it's something that I regret, and it's something I don't even like talking about because it's if I could undo it, I would. Yeah, I think that's what I think. I hate that day. I hate that post. I hate what I did. I hate myself.
Have you apologized to the madam in person?
Not in person as such, but an apology. Yes. An apology. Yes.
Nice.
It's something I'm still sorry for, and the consequences of that are the fact that we are no longer together. And I hate that. We're together, but we're not together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a horrible, horrible thing.
Well, basically, we're together half the time.
Yeah, I mean we're still together every day.
Not really, not like
Not
that.
together.
Oh well, we're together all the time.
Half the time.
Half the
On the show, half the time. Here's the thing. So,
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Can
So
I
what
say
Piz is
On
trying
my
to
own
say?
show?
Yeah, I have to.
What Piz is trying to say
Is
is that
what?
half the time you're not on the show.
Who said?
Yeah.
You guys.
Can
So
we get the
after
record?
5 days you come for 2 days and then the other days will be sick.
Nah, but
and there's another reason. Yeah.
Oh.
So it was half and half.
basically, we spent half the year together.
Okay, first of all, let me just put this out here. The Zambian government allows for a woman to take a Mother's Day off every
You
month.
will not pull that
But
card.
it's the truth. So I will take a Mother's Day off every month, one. And then when it gets really cold, guys, I have sinuses, so I get sick in the cold season. I can't function in winter. Yeah, so half the time,
Were you surprised that you were fired that day?
I was shocked. Surprised, not really, because also my boss had given me chances.
Yeah.
We had conversations about certain decisions and certain things that I've done. He never publicly scolded me or embarrassed me, but I think he also just about had it. You know what I mean? He was just like, I think I'm just about had it. But let me not speak for him. Guys, we're gonna take a break. Flavor, Peasy, thank you so much. You guys are
Anytime.
Time as always.
you guys are my family. We're going to take a break, and we are going to hear from my boss, I mean, I should be saying former boss, but he's always going to be my boss because, I mean, who knows?
Taste and quality. Kana Milling Limited. The best way to start your day. Taste and quality. Milling Limited. The best way to start your day. Taste and quality. Kana Milling Limited. The best way to start your day. Taste and quality. Limited. The best way to start your day. Taste and quality. Milling Limited. The best way to start your day. Taste and quality.
Welcome back to the Mutale Mwanza show. Don't forget that 10 bags of mealie meal are up for grab. Mkana Milling is the main sponsor of the premiere episode of the Mutale Mwanza show. So 10 people get to win 10 25 kg bags of Mkana Milling mealie meal. Now, I am joined on the Mutale Mwanza set by my boss, my former boss, the chairman of Hot Media House, Mr. Oscar Chavula. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. It's good to see you.
Good seeing you too.
How have you been?
Been all right.
Okay.
We've stabilized.
Yeah.
The passing of Zach was hectic with us, but we're pretty stable now.
Yeah.
Emotionally, I mean. Yeah.
Okay. And obviously, after the passing of Uncle Zach, it's been quite a journey. That was the 1st of January 2021 when Uncle Zach passed. And what lessons or what strengths, or I don't even know how to put this question. How have you managed to navigate the ship by yourself? I think, simply put, because Uncle Zach was always there, you would always bounce stuff off each other.
Yeah, it's got its days. There are days that, to a great extent, I feel, like with Zach, I was vulnerable and then caring. So I couldn't care if I told him what I was feeling at the time.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be particularly exposed, and he had my back, I had his back, and based on that means I was very unguarded with him.
Yeah.
But I think the past few months, I've just realized how much I miss him and how much of a pillar he was generally in my life, because it was just, I feel a little bit undressed if I just speak without having to counter-check, counter-balance myself, because that's what I need to do now. And with him, even when I was vulnerable, even when he was vulnerable, he knew it ended with us.
Yeah.
So now it's a bit different. Interests are changing. I have to be a little bit more cautious, and then I have to double check most decisions, because at least if I make a rash decision, he would pull it back or he would clean it up. So if he made a slow decision, I'll be like, no, we're going full throttle. So there was always that counterbalance.
Okay. Now, when you talk about pulling back, there are many times when I I had a few slip-ups, obviously, and Uncle Zach would always have my back and help remedy situations. And I've got a couple of comments from people who actually know the backstory. Like, okay, Zach was always supportive or tolerant, in a sense. Tolerant to everyone, but more so me, because obviously I'll make a lot of mistakes, and yeah, hence the situation right now. But in that moment, if he was around, do you think you would have still fired me?
I think I would still have fired.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Even with his voice of reason in the back. Why do you say that?
Because obviously the truth of it is that he comparatively, the way we designed, or the way we worked, or the way we were, is I was faster, he was slower. But ultimately, we averaged in terms of speed when we meet.
Yeah.
But there were also things that at some point you would not arrest. But more so, it was, like firing you was probably very easy for me.
Why do you say that?
Because I think even without me being pulled back, I think for the longest of time, you're a great presenter. You do your job very well.
Thank you.
But I also feel unrestrained, you become a problem. So I will defend you, back you up, even when you are wrong. But ultimately, that's what we do to everybody that serves with us or works with us. So sometimes I'll just watch and I'm like, but I told you. So it's not necessarily like I've heard the nuance of I was waiting for Zach to fire you, or if he was here I wouldn't have fired you. I do know for a fact that there were times when he would protect you even when he knew there were major cock-ups. So it wasn't for me to look for an opportunity to fire you. In any case, even when he was not around, you would stumble here and there. I would help you. Don't do that. Pull that off. Get in line with that. So what you did that day was off the chain. It was beyond what anybody would pull back. And I say this because I also gave you a chance to be able to speak back into me.
I was scared.
So I gave you a whole 4 hours to be able to tell me what really happened, what went on, what was where, how did we get to this? But more so, as an organization, we just come back from you standing up to cyberbullying. So I don't do double standards. So I was going to sacrifice you anyway.
Yeah, fair enough. I think you are very fair, and we've had conversations, obviously, which we cannot put them out there because those are private moments. But a few times you had warned and cautioned me and talked to me. So even in that moment, I think I didn't talk to you for 4 hours because I was thinking, what am I gonna say? Like, he's gonna shout at me. And then also, like, what do I say? The only thing I could say is sorry.
You won't believe, even when I began to receive those messages, because we just had another conversation 2 days earlier. Even when I started receiving those messages, at first, when the message was sent to me, I was like, no, it's not her. I know how the internet works. Somebody has pulled a stunt. So I received, I think, 16 of them. So I got rather concerned. That's when I asked you, what is this? And then you went on to pull a further stunt. So I think based on that, I just quickly realized that, no, you had become a law unto yourself.
I was scared. I didn't know what to say. Yeah. Kind of like a child, like you've been reprimanded by your parents, and it's like, Londolo, and I'm like, I don't know what to say. It was a horrible moment, horrible time. And I mean, this is a bit awkward, but I have to ask, so how did you feel firing me? What was it like? How did you feel?
I make decisions for a living.
Yeah?
It's a decision.
It was a decision.
So I just don't wake up and make decisions. I did consult your boss. I did tell her that I was going to fire you. And I got management in, and I told them I was going to fire you. I didn't give them a chance to tell me whether to fire you or not to fire you. But I quickly realized that I can live with the consequences. But equally, I just felt it was good for you. We needed to get this done. But
what does that even mean?
What that meant?
What does that mean?
I felt you had lost discipline at the time.
Okay.
And I also felt you had failed us. all of us corporately. Yeah.
Yeah, that is true. I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a poor decision. Like I said earlier, it's something that I really regret, and it's nothing I'm proud of. So it was quite a day. Quite a day. Reactions from people? How was that for you?
Once, like the funny bit is we have detractors and we have people that we have people that are on both ends of the coin.
Yeah.
I had lawyers call me, I had every kind call me. But once we had made a decision, like once the decision goes out, it's like we live with it.
Yeah.
So who commented, who said what, really wasn't gonna do much for us. I mean, we had already made the decision, and we felt that was the correct decision at the time, and that's what we did. So we did have quite a number of people trying to pull the. I mean, I think a lot of people saw opportunity in it, but I couldn't care less really.
Yeah.
I couldn't be bothered, and I think I did tell the team. It's important that we show leadership, but not only that, we're the biggest media house in Zambia. So if we don't show commitment to what we believe in, even when you make a mistake, then we are wishy-washy, and I don't think that's what we should be known for.
Yeah. I had a couple of people calling me as well. You should do this. Some lawyers, friends, what? No, you should sue and do ABC and D. But I'm thinking it's not a fight. It was a mistake. And I made a mistake, and these are the consequences. I think it's very simple. And they don't really know the backstory to all of the times we had meetings, and many times you would say, do this and offer guidance and stuff like that. So I think in that moment, I just knew he's just about had it. But now I want to just rewind on something you just said. So who was trying to get my job when I got fired? Those people who called you.
Oh, you won't believe it. Yeah, it's funny, eh?
Whoa!
I'm like... So I think within hours of the letter going off, I think we received about 4 or 5 phone
applications.
Calls. Yeah, I mean,
people, you like seeing opportunities, huh?
Yeah, so I quickly realized, wow, okay, this, but I like there's something that a lot of people don't realize about us as an organization, and I think one thing they may not realize is that even when you're not at heart, I speak to you and I counsel you where I can, but sometimes you just call in to check, and I sometimes just want to find out how you're doing. So some people take this a bit too far, and I think internally, even with PZ and Monique and Flavor, they don't realize that these are my youngsters and we're cool.
Yeah.
So me being able to direct them, help them, is not enmity. So even when I'm dealing with you, it's not out of bad heart. It's not like I was waiting for you to drop then, or for you to drop the ball and then I kick you out. No, there's no such thing. Internally, we care about everybody, and I think we continue to care about you. So what happens to you still? I want to know, how are you doing? How's Mwanza? How's home? Is everything okay? Do you need anything? So we continue to go past what people see. And sometimes they see all this and they actually create their own problems.
Yeah.
So sometimes I'm looking at something, I'm like, no, this one did this. No.
Like it's a war zone somewhere.
And sometimes they would not know how the organization cranks up or how we go. A lot of people that have worked here before, I still have the numbers, we still talk. Yeah. I embrace quite a lot of your egos and characters. And I also understand very well that you guys are multi-talented and you do far much more than just radio. Radio many a times is 3 hours of your time.
Yeah.
So I understand what you go through, and anytime you need help, we're always here to help, not just me, but the whole team. But more so structurally, the system is built for service. It's not built for for high praise. It's not built to serve one particular individual. So I'm at your service, I'm at everybody's service, and if I need help, if I need to stop what I'm doing, I'll do it. Even now, if your car broke down, I'm like, where are you? I'll come and pick you up and drop you off. Or if I needed a voiceover, I needed you to do something, it's not like, should I really call her? No, I'll pick up the phone and say, are you available today? Do you need some help? So I think internally, and I will discipline you, and we will discipline everybody else. But people don't realize that we do it out of love. And sometimes firing people is extreme. But people don't realize that for you, I mean, sometimes you stretch it. And I think even in your personal life. But you see, with character.
Okay.
With character, it goes on like that.
He's brutally honest.
Yeah, so it goes on. But our take is, we understand your talent. That's why we hire great people like you.
Thank you.
It's important that we get the best in the market.
Yeah.
But even the best in the market need to realize that they have to toe the line.
True. Okay. I want to know if I reapply, will you take me back? We need to take a break. Let's take a break. When we come back, we're closing the show. And we have the last part of our conversation with Mr. Oscar Chavula, the chairman of Hot Media House. And we give out those 10 bags of mealie meal courtesy of Nkana Milling. Stay tuned.
Taste and quality. Milling Limited, the best way to start your day. Taste and quality. Nkana Milling Limited, the best way to start your day.
All right, so welcome back to the Mutale Mwanza show. It is sponsored by Nkana Milling, the best way to start your day. So we have 10 bags of mealie meal to give out this afternoon to 10 lucky winners. And I already have the winners. I'm going to just go straight through them. And we are going to wrap up the conversation and see if my boss is going to take me back, because I know that some people wanted my job. I'm application 5. Life is cold. All right, so these are the winners of 25 kg bag of mealie meal. So 10 people get, to win these bags of mealie meal. Sika Richard Jr., congratulations. Chisengo Kayombo, Sylvia Nalavwe, Pamela Musonda, Maggie Chansa, Tembo Muchimwa, Wezi Mutonga, Janet Willima Mwenya, James K. Mulea, and Warren Chisala Chuma. Congratulations to you guys for winning mealie meal courtesy of Nkana Milling. I'm going to post the winners on the Facebook page after the show, so that you're sure that you are the winner. So, boss, we're discussing the day I got fired. Obviously, and I'd posed the question before the break.
What was the question again?
What was the question? The question was that, would you take me back? Okay, that sounds like a relationship. I was actually going to say, people don't know that you're actually my uncle, like in real life. When are we having that family meeting about you firing me? I think it's still pending. So I didn't get quick. But would you take me back? I mean, I know I'm doing the Mutale Mwanza show, but opportunities and platforms are great. Anywhere, anytime.
You should reply.
I should reply, right?
Yeah.
I will.
Then we can talk about chances when we see the application.
Hey, okay. Now, boss, obviously, we are heading towards 12th of August. Election day, election time. How do you think things are looking when it comes to the media space and media freedom? Because you are the chairman of Hot Media House, and it umbrellas different radio stations. So when you look at journalists and reporting news and things like that, just the general media landscape, how do you feel about it? Violence? Are journalists safe?
We're obviously having to we're doing more than we did, so we've had to have training for our guys, for the safety, for the whole team. For me, I don't want to sound political, but with the kind of teams that we manage, we want what is good for them. So we think it's early days, and we're hoping that politicians do realize that we're part of what they do. They need to be restrained, if not constrained. They need to be able to do this properly. So if they do it properly, it gives us a chance to serve them well. But if they do it wrongly, we pull people back. So right now it's volatile. Sometimes you just never know who to send out because you don't know what to expect. But with us, we're having to double labor our things purely because you have to be seen as press. You don't have to be seen as anything else. So based on that, I never thought in my whole life would have to put a press badge on the car or on our vehicles. But we're having to do that purely because we want to be seen, not just our brands. We want to be visible enough for people to realize that we are not the news, we just share the news.
Okay. Now, when you look at the past history, we've had incidences of radio stations, cadres barging into radio stations and things like that. What measures have you put in place as an organization? Because you just never know. Can people feel safe here? Oh, by the way, we're actually shooting, or rather filming, the premiere episode of the Mutale Mwanza show in my boss's office. So, that's what I'm saying here. So what measures have been put in place in terms of, security and just to avoid certain things?
We are constantly reevaluating our security position at any one time. Like right now, I don't know of any radio station that is, or any media house that is as secure as we are.
Okay.
We try as much as is possible, but also we know everything evolves all the time. So we counter check, we counter test our system just to ensure that first our presenters and our guests are secure. I mean, we understand that the issue of security is just about delay, but we are many buildings here, so we make sure that our presenters are secure, but more so because of the technological advancement that is in place right now. Our take is our guests that feel insecure or they feel a bit of trepidation, we are able to just have, we can literally have a live show with them right in their living room. So they don't have to necessarily get to the station if they feel uncomfortable. So even our presenters, if they feel uncomfortable, we can have all of them in their homes and we should be able to broadcast at the best possible quality without anybody actually even realizing, except that they will know that they're not in the studio. So we are prepared, but more so we're just as good as the best in the business in the world.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, before we wrap up the show, the Electoral Commission of Zambia has suspended election rallies for political parties, and I don't know what are your comments on that? How do you see things changing and evolving? Obviously, that's because of the COVID-19 pandemic. So how do you think is the best way to go about campaigns? I mean, everything happening is pretty new to us.
Yeah, it is new, and sometimes politicians do irrelevant things to just look busy.
I don't want to laugh, but what?
Yeah, they do.
Politicians do irrelevant things to look busy?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
I'll give you a typical example.
Yeah?
Well, right now, where technology is, they should be able to do rallies, campaigns, without all the drama that they're used to. Because I think they're so preoccupied in getting into, having people all around them. And yet they can get to the people. We have some of the best systems in place. They can have a whole rally right in a confined place where the broadcast is proper. We're doing live here.
Yeah.
I don't see why a politician would not sit, be interviewed at this level, and hundreds of thousands of people watching them. It's about technology, but more so, it's also about who can deliver the best for them. But I feel because they're so used or they're stuck in their ways, sometimes it's very difficult to get them to do certain things right. So it's just for them to understand that COVID is real, and they will get people killed if they don't pay particular attention to themselves and to the safety of the Zambians. And I think many a time, it's pointless to have all of these things. If you want people to vote for you, but you want them dead. So which is which? So for me, I feel ECZ is on terra firma. They're solid in their decision, but I also don't know what law they're trying to get them. Is backing them. My take is you want the balance, and I also feel to a greater extent, whilst it is true they are on firm ground, they should implement things equitably. You want to see them on top of the game. You don't want to see them as complicit to a particular party. So you want them to be balanced. You want them to know that all of us, whichever party we belong to, we're Zambians. And I feel that's where the politicians are losing it. We are Zambians first before we belong to any political party or to any affiliations. And ECZ need to master the art of knowing that we cannot at any time play into partiality.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much, boss, for being on the premiere episode of the Mutale Mwanza show. And thank you for every opportunity that you've ever given me. I will genuinely say, and I think I said this to you before, I will just repeat myself publicly that the decision that I made obviously was such a huge boohoo. And I've always felt like I let Razak down. And any chance to remedy anything is great for me. And I'm always happy, and I've always been happy that we've maintained a healthy, great relationship. And it's never broken down in spite of everything that has happened. So here we are today on the Mutale Mwanza show, trying to do my thing.
Clearly. Thank you for having me. Thank you for having us.
Yeah.
And thank you for having the premiere one here.
Thank you. Thank you for having me too. And thank you for sharing your story and opinions. And guys, thank you so much for watching. Please make sure you tune in again next week on the Mutale Mwanza show. You never know who might be on the show. It might be your favorite president or your favorite person, your favorite entertainer. But more so, I want to thank Nkana Milling for sponsoring the premiere episode of this show. And to everyone that's always believed in me, including Mr. Chavula, everyone that's ever given me an opportunity, thank you so much. To you, M Nation, the M Army, thank you so much to each and every single one of you. And please make sure you read Jeremiah 29:11, my favorite Bible verse. Thank you. God bless.
This episode was powered by Nkana Milling. Taste and quality, the best way to start your day.